Are you looking to grow your dental practice and attract top-tier new patients? Discover the potential of digital marketing with a personalized strategy session. Join Lila Stone, the marketing director at Equa, for an exclusive 90-minute consultation. Lila and her team will dedicate 6 hours before your meeting to create a customized marketing plan specifically for your practice. This valuable opportunity is free of charge and comes with no commitments. Visit www.insuranceuntangledorg/MSM to schedule your meeting with Lila today. You'll also receive a free analysis report so you can start transforming your practice through the power of digital marketing.
You are now listening to another episode of the Insurance Untangled podcast, where we explore the various challenges faced by dental practices due to their reliance on insurance. Join us in this podcast as we dive deep into the issues surrounding dental insurance dependence and offer practical solutions and strategies to help you take control of your practice's financial future.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Insurance Untangled podcast. My name is Ben Tuinei, and I'm one of the co-hosts on this podcast that's, we're dedicating our lives towards helping practices untangle themselves with insurance. Today, I have my good friend and co-host with me. I'm going to be interviewing him, Naren Arulrajah. Naren, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Ben. And yourself?
Good. Thank you. Wonderful. We have a very exciting topic to talk about today. We always talk about various different concepts, insurance-wise, marketing-wise. Today, we're going to talk about the concept of SEO, search engine optimization. So the topic is SEO is complicated, but here's why it can work in your favor. So first question I have for you, Naren. Why is SEO so difficult, even for dental practices? I think for businesses in general, even when you are working with a very experienced marketing company, why is the realm of SEO just a very difficult realm to exist in?
Yeah, I think the reason SEO is difficult for a lot of people is we all think there is a magic answer. We think, we buy a piece of software, then all of a sudden everything is going to work out. Or we hire that one person and all of a sudden all of our problems are going to be solved. But in the world of business, usually that's not the case. In the world of business, there are 100 details that all have to be figured out for something to work out. You know what I mean? It's not one thing. It's rather like all of the above is what makes somebody successful. 2 books that I really loved. One is called Tiny Habits and the other one is called Atomic Habits. And in the book Atomic Habits, the author talks about how the team from England that won many Tour de France's, in a row or a certain amount of time, they didn't win because they had Armstrong, or some magical player or anything. By the way, we all know what happened with Lance Armstrong, right? Supposedly he was taking drugs and performance enhancement drugs, and there's a whole scandal around it, right? So this magic bullet usually doesn't create success unless there's some cheating going on. Unfortunately. So usually successful people are successful because they do 100 things well. So that particular British team, they did 100 things well. For example, they realized dust in the bicycles can have a negative impact on the performance. The bed these runners are sleeping on in all these hotel rooms, remember, Tour de France goes through so many towns and so many cities, has an impact on the quality of sleep. So they truck their beds or their mattresses that these guys are going to sleep on. They have, vacuum sealed, trucks to drive the bicycles because they don't get any dust. Even the paint, they painted white because if there is any dust, it's easy to see. So it's these 100 details, right? SEO is one of those places there are like 3,000 details. Google makes $250 billion just from ads. So they have every motivation to not give you free traffic. So they make a lot of money through ads. So they make it really hard. And the way they make it hard is they make 10 changes a day, 3,000 a year, so that you will keep getting kicked off even if you are doing well. So you have to pay attention to these details, 3,000 of them. And today you can't do it alone. You need a massive army of experts doing different things. And because people don't have that kind of thinking, they don't have the team or the structure of the, British cycling team that keeps winning, these cycling races again and again and again. they don't have it. They don't do those 100 things well. So that's where I think people struggle with it. We all want a quick fix. We all want some magic bullet, and it doesn't exist.
Got it. Got it. It's interesting when you look at different companies out there too, where, and I'm kind of thinking about the service area of SEO, right? When it comes to, mistakes, what are common mistakes marketing companies tend to make when it comes to performing SEO tasks for a dental practice?
Yeah, what the common mistakes, I think as a business owner, you can't be held responsible for your SEO company or your marketing company not doing a good job. But what you can be held responsible for is to make sure they are doing what they need to and they are achieving results. Like for example, ask them to show you your monthly report, Google Analytics report. If you are not ranking for 100 or more keywords on page one, meaning top 10 results, that means they're not doing a good job. Today, there is the haves and the have-nots in the world of SEO. The haves who are ranking for 100 or more keywords, and they get 95% of the free traffic, and the have-nots don't, and they get pretty much no free traffic, which means they have to spend tons of money on ads to get equivalent amount of business. So that's a clear way to start doing this. Start using a tracking number. How many new patient calls are you getting, from different kinds of marketing, including SEO? If you're not getting 20 or more new patient calls and you've been doing SEO for a while, there's something wrong. You need to change something. So you as a business owner needs to know how to know if somebody's doing a good job and then hold them accountable. Now, you might even go a step further. Ask them for how many NAP profiles are you managing for me? How many of those have consistent information? Once in a while, run a copyscape check to see if there's any original content issues. There's all these nuances, but I'll start by looking at the top two things, which is how many keywords am I ranking for? Is it 100 or more in the top 10 results according to Google Analytics? And then how many phone calls am I getting from the SEO tracking number? And is it 20 or more new patient calls a month?
Got it. Got it. Yeah, like what you mentioned with the analogy with Lance Armstrong and those Tour de France and those, there's just a lot that goes into that. And I can't imagine for marketing, particularly that of, SEO, there's just probably so many things to pay attention to, right? Which can be overwhelming for anybody. So
Right.
you mentioned, Naren, that SEO has a lot of these moving parts like AI and Google updates. How can a practice keep up, sort of keep updated with changes without feeling overwhelmed with this kind of marketing management?
Yeah, I think exceptional people do exceptional work and ordinary people do ordinary or mediocre work, right? So if your company, your marketing company is ranking you for 100 or more keywords consistently month after month, they will probably have a lot of the changes happening in the Google world under control. Because to maintain that level of excellence, you have to keep up. You have to be the best at what you do. You have to be like playing an A+ game, right? So that's what I'll be looking for. Like, for example, just to give everyone, caught up on what's going on with the world of AI, as all of us know, almost 2 to 3 years ago, we first heard of ChatGPT. Now, every company under the planet is investing hundreds of billions of dollars. I'm talking about the big tech companies from Apple to Microsoft to Google to ChatGPT and Oracle and Tesla on AI, right? They're buying all these expensive servers. They're trying to build their own AI powerhouse capability, and that's impacting how people do research. So Google has gone all in on AI. Google was the company to start on AI long time ago, before anybody even thought of AI. They bought DeepMind, so many years ago, and they were like some of the pioneers of AI. They bought Boston Robotics, again, one of the pioneers of AI. So they have been in AI for a long time, but they have been very cautious. So when ChatGPT came out and did this, chat bot that anyone can use and talk to and get answers from an AI, it changed the game. So now if you go to Google, you see something called AI overview. So pretty much if you're asking a question around learning about a topic, Google is going to show their answer directly. So for example, I want to know the relationship between high blood pressure and oral health, right? I heard somewhere and I want to do it. I just type it in. Google will tell me, like in a paragraph format, what I need to know about that topic. Like, for example, I was trying to find out what causes skin cancer. Just curious, Google will tell me in a summary format. The other day I was curious about one of my friends, treats cancer. And I'm like, what are the top ways you can treat cancer? So it told me, okay, chemotherapy, surgery and radiation, right? Those are the top 3 ways to treat cancer. So for those kinds of queries, Google is already starting to provide answers where it's a paragraph format answer, kind of like ChatGPT, and they're calling it AI overview. So you need to understand that. So for example, if you type in a query like, how much does, implants cost in Chicago, or your city name, you will get a paragraph answer. Google will tell you it ranges from here to here. Here are 3 different providers who have talked about pricing. Here are the links. You can go and check them out. So if you want to be part of that AI overview answer, you need to follow Google's guidelines on how to do things and whatnot. And we do that for our clients. So we have been putting a lot of effort to pivot our company to make it AI friendly, because Google is going that way. And still Google controls around 90% of the market share. Now, people just still type in dentist near me, emergency dentist, city name. So those, you don't need an AI because people are looking for a particular business. So Google's traditional search is good. So when you type in dentist near me, Google will show you 3 or 4 dentists with lots of reviews and everything else near me. Or if you type in, dentist zip code or, Invisalign zip code, Google will show you local businesses with reviews and so forth. So a lot is going on. So you just need to make sure that you're, like, for example, we are sending out an update to all of our clients about how AI is impacting and what we are doing about it. Now, one thing that's becoming very obvious is metrics like how many people went to your website is becoming less and less relevant, because you can go directly to Google Maps and get the business owner's reviews, get the business owner's phone number. You don't need to go to the website anymore. So the visits to the website is becoming less important. Now I can go to AI overview for a question like, how much does dental implants cost in a zip code? And I can get the paragraph answer from Google with 3 links. Now I will only click on your link if yours is one of the links referenced in the AI overview. Otherwise, right, I'll get what I need right off of Google, and I'm not interested in a provider, I don't click. But if I'm interested, I'll click on one of those people who have given a price, and I'll go to that person's webpage, right? So I think understanding all these changes and staying ahead, working with a company that totally focuses on SEO, like we focus on, helping dentists crush the competition, and 95% of our clients stay with us year after year because we really, really, really zoom into that. So I do think, I think this is true in life, right? 90% of your battle is finding the right people for your team. Same thing for partners. That is 90%. You get the wrong partner, you'll go in circles. You get the wrong team member, you'll go in circles. And you'll spend 3 times more money fixing that mistake than getting it right in the first place. So do your research. Like one of the things we do is we do a comprehensive marketing strategy review to look at you and your competition. How are you doing compared to your competition on all the things Google cares about, on all your rankings? And, and then once you know what you're doing, then follow a plan, follow a strategy to make sure you're dominating Google.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Lots to do, lots to kind of figure out when you're looking at online marketing, SEO marketing. Just curious here, Naren, why is there so much negativity in the SEO industry, and how does that sort of affect dental practice owners that are really trying hard to master this SEO game?
The way dental practice owners can really see if they're mastering the SEO game is, start looking at your Google Analytics report. Find out how many keywords are you ranking for. Find out, how many times are you showing up. Find out how many phone calls you're getting. And if you're not doing well in these things, book a marketing strategy meeting, like I kind of alluded to. This is a 1 hour meeting, and our team will do 6 hours worth of research. And it's a free analysis, right? So you will get an in-depth analysis of your marketing, and if you are doing all the things you need to do to dominate Google or not. And if you're doing the things that you need to do to dominate Google, keep doing it. If you're not, figure out what you need to do and just go make it happen. Find the right partner who can do those things and then hold them accountable, like I said. So first know where you stand, then figure out a partner you have confidence in. Ask a lot of questions. Do a lot of digging. Ask them to show examples of other clients who are doing well. Ask them not just one or two, but many, so you can really get a feel for what's going on. Do your own digging. Ask questions. If you feel confident, then go with the company, and then hold them accountable. Ask them, how do I know if you're doing a good job? Right? In our case, I'll tell you, right? If you need to rank for 100 or more keywords within 12 months, you need to get 20 or more new patient calls within 12 months. If you're not getting those things, something's not working. Of course, SEO is just part of it. You still need to focus on landing pages, getting people to say yes, getting people to like you, getting people to trust you. Because remember, you can't put a gun to somebody's head and say, go buy, this dentist Invisalign service. You can't do that. They have to choose. They have lots of choices. So really, really understanding the whole buyer's journey, all the way from SEO to Google reviews to before and after pictures to even simple videos that make people like you and trust you. All of those components. Now, I wish there was a shortcut. I wish I can tell you, you press a magic button and all of a sudden all this works. Yes, your SEO company can get you to rank for 100 keywords. Yes, your SEO company can work on your nav. Yes, your SEO company can make sure you're showing up on AI, whether it's ChatGPT or Gemini or Google AI Overview or Google AI Mode. They can do that, but you still have to do your part. Get those 10 reviews a month. Focus on your call conversions. Like, I see another problem. Some clients get a lot of phone calls, but they're not booking them. So you have a conversion issue. So you also have some role to play. Part of that role is finding the right company you have confidence in, and then working with them and holding them accountable. And the other part of the role is getting those reviews, getting those call conversions improved, if those are your issues. I mean, hoping for magic is like, and then blaming somebody because that magic doesn't happen is not a smart way to go. So really zooming in and figuring out where the issues are, figuring out what you need to work on, and then working on them systematically, step by step, month after month, quarter after quarter. That's the key to success.
Yeah, it's quite a journey. Lots of challenges and lots of tasks along the way. Which to me, because the process is so complex, I think that creates a lot of opportunity for people that really, really focus, especially those that partner with the right marketing companies, in an effort to be as competitive as you want to be. So if I'm a dentist, how can I use SEO to stand out and be as competitive as I can be against those that are doing it, including the DSOs that are sort of doing this regularly and mastering it.
Yeah, I think the beauty is, because SEO is hard, very few people do a really good job at it. So most people are getting patients from PPO plans, and those patients, you're getting paid 55 cents on the dollar. So to do $1 million in dentistry, you only get paid $550,000, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what happens if you are in that bucket. If you are in the Google Ads bucket, again, we have done studies on this. If you need like $10,000 to make the same get the same amount of new patients with $1,500 worth of SEO. Why? People don't trust ads. So they are less likely to do business with you because they don't trust you. So you need a lot more of them to equal one good person from SEO. So knowing that that's what 90% of the people are doing, things that are less effective, focus on SEO, become one of those 5% of the people. And the other advantage with SEO is you're attracting people who you want to attract. Right? I want to grow Invisalign. I can go after them with SEO. I want to attract my implants. I can go after them. I want to focus on people who care about health and gum disease. I can go after them. With PPO plans, you don't choose them, right? They're coming to you because you are free in their mind. In other words, it's like going to a soup kitchen. I have this benefit. I can use it for free. I'll go there and get it. I don't appreciate it. I don't want to pay for anything, even if I need to pay for it. Like, you have all this baggage. So even though it's painful, it's so much better if you want to create a life where you're not dealing with patients you don't want to deal with. You are rather picking and choosing the ideal patients.
Yeah. No, I like that, finding the ideal patients. I think that's sort of in the bucket of the right things to allow your marketing strategy to do, right? But as far as the implementation, and I know I'm probably diving a lot into the meat and potatoes and technicalities of SEO. But what are some other right things that I should focus on to be successful and be as competitive as I can be with SEO?
Yeah, I mean, as a business owner, I would set a target of getting 10 or more reviews a month, right? Because even if your SEO is doing really well, if you are not getting those 10 or more 5-star reviews every month, people are like going to be less likely to choose you. And these reviews also are things that Google looks at, or many of these other platforms look at to decide whether you're going to rank or not, right? So I would really, really focus on both sides of marketing, both the SEO piece and then the influence piece. Influence, I think Google reviews cases, right? A lot of people don't have good cases on their web pages. So they don't rank. If I were to type in Invisalign, their Invisalign page doesn't show up. But even if it does show up, I don't see any compelling examples of amazing smiles they've done. They may have done ton, but it's not on that Invisalign page. And a lot of times people get caught up on close-ups as opposed to full face pictures. So again, these are habits you need to develop. Why? Because consumers don't understand close-ups. They're not trained professionals. They're just people who want to know, me spending 10,000 on this particular solution, is it better than me going on that vacation? So you have to communicate to them how this is going to change their life. So when you show that, before close up and the after full face picture, and they see the transformation, they're like, oh, I look like the before and I want to look like the after. And they're like, oh yeah, I want to spend $10,000. I want to do whatever it takes to make this happen, right? And it's kind of sad though, because very few people are doing these things. Very few web pages I go to have compelling before and after, especially the full face after pictures. Very few are ranking on Google for those keywords, so I think there's so much opportunity. I mean, it's almost like if you can, it's kind of like getting into a dental school, right? 5% of you will become dentists. It changes your life, right? In terms of how people look at you, how much money you make, all of those things. But becoming that 5% takes time and it takes effort, takes planning and dedication and everything else. And very few people take that difficult path. So, so I do think there is something to be said about taking that difficult path and doing what needs to be done, thinking long term. Like you thought long term as a dentist, right? You don't start making a penny for 10 years, right? From the time you finish your high school, versus your buddies could be making money the next year. They probably don't even need a college degree. But their life is not going to be the same as your life. Fast forward 15 years from now, right? They are going to be like working on an hourly base, working on a low income job and living hand to mouth, and you have net worth and you have all kinds of other things going for you, right? It changes you, right? But that kind of long-term thinking, I wish, if there's one thing you can take away from this, look at marketing as long-term, right? Like getting people to know you, like you, trust you. It's not short-term. You have to, they don't have to come to you. You can't put a gun to their head. So you have to make them want to come to you. So what are the things you can do to be best at it, to be best at helping people find you, SEO, to be best at helping people like you, those tiny videos that are on all these landing pages, to be best at helping people choose you, those before and afters with the full face after pictures and the Google reviews. And just do them, right? Day in and day out. The difference between your degree is you have to study for X number of years and you're done. Here, it just becomes a habit and you just keep doing those things. Either you do it or your partner does it, and you hold everybody accountable. And as long as those things are happening, you're going to do well. And you're going to, your last year was good. This year will be better. The next year will be even better. So you'll continue to build and continue to grow.
Wonderful. Love that. Love that. As those that are listening and hearing these great and wonderful tips that you're sharing, if I'm a dentist and I'm ready to invest in a very, very effective SEO strategy that really, really works despite all the challenges in doing it, where do you recommend they should start?
Yeah, I do. I think I talked about this. You need to have a plan. And that plan, I think, is something you can get with a marketing strategy meeting. So if you go to insuranceuntangled.com/MSM, book that meeting and you'll get a full-fledged plan. Start there. You know where your competition is. You know where you are. Then sit and think for a day or two. Like, where do you want to end up? And if you want to be the best at helping the right patients find you, the right patients like you, and the right patients show you, then make a commitment and go down this road. And then see if things are going as planned. If they're not, have a meeting with the CEO. Like I get into meetings with our clients if things are not going well. And I don't hide. I'm the founder. I started this 18 years ago. And you need that kind of commitment, being the best in the world at something. It doesn't happen easy. You need commitment from the top. You can't be dealing with just, salespeople. You need to know what the company stands for. You need to know what they believe in. And then you need to like get behind it and do your part, right? You have to get those reviews. You have to get those videos. You have to get those cases, right? Outside of that, hold them accountable for what they're responsible for.
Mm-hmm. Love
and
it.
I think that kind of a relationship where you pick the right partners, everyone is working in an interdependent fashion, is the key to success.
Yeah, no, I love it. And if I can, let listeners know that you can click on the show notes to look at the insuranceuntangledcom/MSM link. That is the link that you want to click on to request a marketing strategy meeting. I personally highly recommend it. SEO is not easy. I've tried it on my own for my business, and it's not something that a person like me as a business owner even has time to look at a million different areas that you have to focus on and master to dominate Google. But I can attest to what Naren said, is that very, very few practices do this effectively. A lot of practices do this, but very few master it to the level that Naren's talking about. So insuranceuntangledcom/MSM to take advantage of that complimentary marketing strategy meeting. And I just want to take a minute to thank you, Naren. Another amazing, great episode, wonderful content and feedback. Appreciate your insights that you shared with the listeners today. And to our listeners, thank you again for joining us today on another amazing episode of the Insurance Untangled podcast. Don't forget to share this episode with friends and family on social media or any other platform that you like, as well as give us some love, give us some reviews, and that, of course, will help help other doctors find this particular content. And don't forget to check out our quarterly webinars. InsuranceUntangled.com has all that posted there. We hold those webinars quarterly as an appreciation to give some CE back to our listeners and those that are new listeners that join our community. Until we meet again, folks, we wish all of you the best of success. Take care now.